Right, the next component is the nut that goes on the opposite end of the bolt to the cam lever. We're going to start drawing on the right plane, and we're going to draw a circle of 16 millimeters. Smart dimension type 16. Zoom in a bit. Spacebar isometric, and we want to exit the sketch and extrude that sketch out for a distance of 5 millimeters. We then want to sketch on this front face and sketch, highlight the edge of the tool, and what we're going to do is convert that entity, the edge of that disc, onto our new sketch. So convert entities, exit the sketch. Now what we're going to do is do an extruded base boss again. This time it's going to be for 10 millimeters, and we're going to put a draft angle on of 12 degrees. As you can see, it just puts the slopey side on there. Click to exit the extrusion. Now what we want to do is cut up like a V groove in the top here, so I'm going to draw from this face, sketch on there, spacebar, normal 2, and we're going to put a construction line, a centre line from the middle of the origin straight up the drawing face. Okay. Then we're going to use the line tool from this edge, that's front face, to where it crosses the construction line from there up there. And we're going to put an angle in here of 80 degrees. Use the Smart Dimension tool, click on this line and this line, change the angle to 80 degrees. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to mirror this line over to this side of the construction line. So if we go to Mirror Entities, click on the line we want to mirror, tell it where the mirror that we want to use is, and as you can see you get a preview of the line. Click on the tick to accept it. Exit the sketch, spacebar and isometric. Now we're going to use this sketch to do an extruded cut through our part. So it's going to go through all, and we're going to make sure that we cut the top side. So click on the arrow to change the direction, click to accept the feature, and there's our cut groove out the top. Next thing we need to do is pattern this around the outside of the nut. So we're going to do a circular pattern. We want to tell it what we want to rotate our cut around, or our pattern around. We'll use this edge. We want to go all the way around the outside. We want equal spacing, and we want 3 of them. Click on the feature to accept it, and then we should be able to move our model around to see that those 3 are there. Press the spacebar and isometric. Okay, next thing we're going to do is going to put a hole down through the middle of here. Now it's not just going to be a blank hole, it's going to be a hole that's got a thread in it. So we're going to use the hole wizard this time. Click on the hole wizard, and then just work our way down the menu. So the hole type is a tapped hole. It is going to use the ISO standard. There are all these other ones you could pick from, but we're going to use the ISO. It's a tapped hole. We're going to use an M5 thread. The hole is going to go through all. The thread is going to go through all. Okay, that seems to be okay. Now we're going to position the hole. So we're going to put it onto this surface so that it is coincident with that point, which is the middle of the circle. Click, and that should give us our hole. There we go. Right, move it round, and that's the component almost complete. There's just a little groove to cut around the outside of here. So press the spacebar and isometric. Now we're going to use the front plane. I'm going to sketch on that plane. Press the spacebar and normal 2. And we actually want to find out where the bottom of this groove is in the one that sits in the top here. So we're going to make our model so it's a wireframe. And let's just have a quick twizzle this round. That's right. And it's that line there that we want. So, next thing, we need to draw a rectangle so it's linked to the bottom of that hole. That's the wrong one. Delete that. And we want to use the rectangle tool which allows us to join corner to corner. So we can link it to this line and draw a tall rectangle this way. It wants to be about the middle. If you want to put some measurements on, you can do it, but about the middle will do. Exit the sketch, and we can change our drawing back to a rendered model. Now what we need to do is put an axis for our rotation down the middle of here. So we need to go to Insert, Reference Geometry, Axis, and what we're going to do is we're going to select that surface there. The yellow line is the axis of rotation. Click to exit. Now what we're going to do a revolved cut. So revolved cut, we're going to use this sketch, okay, but we're going to use this axis for our rotational cut. That's the sketch we're going to use, and you'll see we've got a preview so we can see it. Now we can have a twizzle around of the model so we can have a look, make sure everything's okay. That looks to be fine. You see there's no thread down the middle of the hole. That's because what the program uses is something called a cosmetic thread, which is basically a line around the outside just to indicate there's a thread there. It saves on computer memory so that your model doesn't take time being redrawn. Okay, isometric, file, save. Save this one as nut. And that's the second component finished.